This deal was announced, 2 months after the Qualcomm NXP deal? So this has been a long time. The FTC's kind of late to the party here, trying to get more concessions.
They are, and I think at this point, people were not really expecting regulatory pushback. I remember when this deal was announced, and one of the big concerns was, could you see some sort of issue with regulators? Could they require a significant amount of divestitures that would eat into that $1 billion of annual synergies that Linde and Praxair were targeting for this deal? But I think at this point, people were actually expecting this to go through. They've already announced a number of divestitures. Now the FTC is saying that's not going to be enough. We're going to need you to sell more assets. And of course, that raises the question, are the economics still attractive in this deal?
Do we have a sense of that very question?
I think it depends on how much more the FTC wants.
So we don't know specifically what they want to divest?
We don't know. We just know that they want it to go beyond sort of the limits that Linde and Praxair had set for themselves, which was about $4.3 billion of assets that they were willing to divest. That's $4.3 billion of sales, sorry to clarify. So it's going to go beyond that. That's obviously going to eat into the synergy number. The other thing that I want to point out is that synergy number is based on consolidating operations with a German-based company in Linde. Part of the reason why this deal fell apart back in September 2016 is the German Linde contingency, the members on the strategic advisory board, were concerned about job cuts and operations cuts. As we've seen with GE's deal with Alstom, it's not so easy to acquire these European companies and cut costs. And so I think that synergy goal was already under threat here.
It's interesting, too, because even though this is not the Department of Justice in this case, it's not an antitrust situation, we've seen an activist sort of administration or agencies under this administration challenging various deals. I mean, I don't know if empirically there's an uptick, but it kind of feels like there's an uptick.
I think there is, and in this case, you already had Air Liquide buying Airgas, so that already takes you down to 4 major industrial gas companies. So it does sort of create an antitrust issue here, and you're seeing agencies be willing to sort of step up to be more vocal in their criticisms of these deals that maybe in past administrations would have gotten approved. And part of that, I think, does come back to jobs. Are we worried about maybe seeing deals done just for the sake of synergies and cutting some of those positions? I think that does start to be a political concern.